Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our broadcasting of God's Word today. This is Victorina from ITMT, and I'm so delighted, so excited to talk to you about our topic today. And the word that we are going to discuss is so used on a regular basis, even in our daily work, our daily life. It's used so loosely, it's used so lightly, not knowing the true meaning of it. But when you know the meaning of the word that we are going to tackle today, you will be amazed on what you can do with it and how you turn yourself around or turn your life around only when you have this word in your life and only when you recognize the true meaning of it. Are you ready? Here we go. Our topic for today is favor. And yes, this word has been used so loosely, so lightly. We use it day to day, knowing that when we use the word favor, someone will do something for us without asking for anything in return. Let's say you go to work or, oh, can you do me a favor? Can you hand me that paper because I just forgot to bring it? Or let's say you're going out somewhere and you forget something. Oh, would you please do me a favor? Can you pick up something for me on my way home? Or can you do me a favor? Can you look after the children? Or can you do this and do that? So in short, the word favor is used so lightly, and yet we are getting something from it when we just use the word favor. Let's look at the deeper meaning of the word favor in a dictionary, and then we will dive into a biblical perspective that when God's favor is in your life, it can turn yourself and your life around. Here are just a few definitions. Favor is goodwill implied in a kindly regard or friendly disposition shown by individual or a group. It's also meaning favor merely by an attitude of the mind. Goodwill is more effective and active and lead often to outward manifestations of friendly approval. Favor is also something done or granted out of goodwill rather than just from justice or for someone that wants to get paid for doing something for you. It is also an act of excessive kindness or unfair partiality. It's also called preferential treatment. It is also a gift bestowed as a token of goodwill, and so forth and so on. But let's look at some biblical example and character that received the favor from God and changed their life around. Look at Mary. Glory to God in the highest heaven, and on earth, peace to those on whom his favors rest. When the favor of God rests upon you, your life will never be the same again. And also when Jesus grew in wisdom and stature, and the favor of God and men was with him. Luke 2:52. Friends, even Jesus himself grew in wisdom and in favor as a young boy and as the Son of the living God. How about me? How about you? Why do we need favor? If Jesus himself grew in favor and stature, both men and God, don't you think we need the same thing? Favor from God? I believe so. But there are many reasons why we need the favor from God in our life, and I would like to share them with you. We all need favor in all areas of our life. If you are in sales, you need a connection. You need that referral from someone else that can connect you to the right person so you can make the sales. Or if you are at work, you need the favor from the people that can help you in your work. Or if you are a student, and more so if you're buying a home, you need a favor from the bank that can help you to purchase the house that you really want. You need a favor from the manager, from the lender. In so many ways, you need that called favor. Now, the favor of God in your life will produce a blessings. And there are 9 things I really would like to share with you as we look briefly at each person that God bestowed divine favor. Number 1, favor will exalt you. And briefly, we will look at Joseph. In Genesis 39:21, but the Lord was with Joseph and showed him mercy and gave him favor in the sight of the keeper, and made him charge of the prison. When Joseph is in charge, he doesn't have to worry about anything. We see how God worked in Joseph's life out of the bad situation. In our next session, what we are going to do is dig deeper on how the favor of God works in Joseph's life. But today we are just going lightly from one person to another in a biblical example so that we can have the grasp that how favor is very, very important in our life. How about Queen Esther? She was never a queen before, but when God's favor was in her life, even the king himself said, "Ask even half of the kingdom, Esther, and I will give it to you." Let's look at life of Esther. When the king's order and edict that has been proclaimed, many young women were brought to the citadel of Susa, put under the care of Hegai. Esther was also taken to the king's palace and entrusted to Hegai, who was in charge of the king's harem. She pleased him and won his favor. Immediately he provided her with the beauty treatments and special food. Oh ladies, now you know that if you have the favor in your life, beauty treatment will come handy. He assigned her 7 female attendants, selected from the king's palace, and moved her and her attendant into the best place in the harem. Then the king asked, "What is it, Queen Esther? What is it that you request? Even half of the kingdom will be given to you." Now, when someone asks you, ask anything and it will be given to you, we really have to be wise on how we are going to open our mouth. Although we know that when we ask for a favor, people will do it to us, especially, when the anointing of God is in your life, you have to be very, very careful and use wisdom how to answer when you are asked a question. And Esther did just that. Esther was very kind and very wise woman. When Mordecai was mentoring her, she answered the king. "If it is pleases the king," Esther replied, "let the king, together with Haman, come today to a banquet I have prepared for him." When we dig in deeper to the story and life of Esther, how did she become a queen and how did she become the most favored in her time and save her people into being slaughtered? It is something that you also need to know. If the kings regard me with favor, and if it pleases the king who grant my petition and fulfill my request, let the king and Haman come tomorrow to the banquet I will prepare for them. Then I will answer the king's questions. So it means when someone asks you something that you know is big is coming out of that favor, don't be so quick to open your mouth. Go into your prayer closet. Ask the Lord for the right word to say so that when you open your mouth, the wisdom is coming out and you will get what is it that you want. Do not be in haste to make any comment, to answer questions. Think before you open your mouth. Wherever you are right now, your situation, your work, at home, finances, it might not be in a great shape or the one at the moment, but keep trusting the Lord. When you know that His favor is upon you, you can be assured that this too shall come to pass. And number 2, the favor will protect you. Exodus 33:12, 13, and 14. We are looking at the life of Moses. Moses said to the Lord, "You have been telling me, lead these people, but you have not let me know whom you will send with me. You have said, I know you by name, and you have found favor with me. If you are pleased with me, teach me your ways, so I may know you and continue find favor with you. Remember that this nation is your people. And the Lord replied to Moses, "My presence will go with you, and I will give you rest." Joseph and Moses are a very similar situation. They both need the favor of God to fulfill what they have in there. Number 3, abundance of favor, grace, righteousness will cause you to reign in life. How much more will those who receive God's abundant provision of grace and of the gift of righteousness reign in through one man, Jesus Christ? Through Jesus Christ, we already find favor in the sight of God. Christians must understand two things in life in order to reign and to operate in God's favor, and the abundant grace of God and righteousness of and through Jesus Christ alone. Number 4, favor will position you for training. Meanwhile, while the Midianites sold Joseph in Egypt to Potiphar, one of Pharaoh's officials, the captain of the guards, that is in Genesis 37:36. He was mentored and trained by Potiphar, learned by what he see from association. According to your calling, God will put you in the right place, time, and let you meet the right people to mentor you and train you. Understand the process of your destiny. Don't curse it even when you are having hard time and going through obstacles. Learn from other people's mistakes and grow from them. Samuel was groomed and trained by Eli, the man of God, although his son did evil in the eyes of the Lord. The Lord saw Samuel beyond who he was as a young boy, and therefore he groomed him under his care. And God was with Samuel, and he was the prophet of God chose to anoint David to become the king of Israel. How about you? Who is mentoring you? Who is training you? Who are you listening to? Who are you associating with? Are you listening to those people that doesn't have anything? Are you all that no one can tell you anything that you do not know? Are you also full of yourself? Sometimes we're just so full of it, we think we know everything. God will send people to groom you, don't forget, to fulfill your destiny. Be prayerful and watchful of whom God is sending you along the way to teach you. At work, it's either at work, school, church, at school, there will always be someone greater than us, unless all of you are your own company. But even then, you still have to learn from other people to grow your company. The key to learning, keep an open mind, and our mind is like a parachute. Do you know how the parachute works? It only works when it's open. And be ready to receive instruction and carefully obey them. Sometimes, we are so full of it. If someone is talking to us, we just brush it off and just say, I heard it 100 times. But do you know when most of the time, the one that we hear the most is just like the word favor, is the one we needed the most to look into. Because we need it. And number 5, favor will make other people see you. In Samuel 16:22, and Saul sent to Jesse, saying, "Let David, I pray thee, stand before me, because he had found favor in my sight." From shepherd boy to the king. Wow. Prosperity is not what you own, but it's who you are. Wealthy is not prosperity. When the Lord prosper you, it is He. And it is who and what they want from you. Walk where God is leading you, as the Lord was with Joseph, and so He will be with you. The Lord was with Joseph so that he prospered and he lived in the house of this Egyptian master. When his master saw that the Lord was with him, and the Lord gave him success in everything, Joseph found favor in his eyes and became his attendant. Potiphar put him in charge of his entire household, and he entrusted everything into Joseph's care. Joseph found favor in Potiphar's eyes. He entrusted Joseph everything that he owns except one. And you will find out in our next study. The Lord's favor is resting upon you. Number 6, favor will give you seed for your harvest. Leviticus 26:9, God said, I will look on you with favor and make you fruitful and increase your numbers, and I will keep my covenant with you. In Luke 6:38, give and it shall be given to you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. The setup is a setup for you from God. Regardless of what you are going through right now, do not curse the process. Maintain grace and humility, and most of all, trust the Lord. Because even in jail, God set up Joseph to be with the people that will help him in the future. You do not know what God and who God is setting up with you right now and in the past to take you to where you are going in the future. So, when you are in a situation, do not be so quick to jump into a conclusion. Think, ask God, seek the Lord, and then you open your mouth when you hear the instruction from the Lord. But when you say, Vicky, I do not hear from God. How do I hear from God? Then, what I will tell you is, tune in to our next topic, and we can tell you on how you can hear from the Lord. But before we go on that one, let's check on number 7, on what favor and blessings will bring you. Favor, your service is a seed for harvest. Serving is who you are. Serve the Lord in every circumstances. Whatever you do, do it wholeheartedly for the glory of God. Do not complain when you are given a task at work, at school, anywhere. Do not murmur. Do not grumble. Do it gladly. And everything that you do it for the glory of God, because you do not know what is at the end of the task. It might be the favor awaiting you. It might be the favor that's testing you. So Pharaoh sent for Joseph, and he was quickly brought from the dungeon. When he had shaved and changed his clothes, he came before Pharaoh. Pharaoh said to Joseph, I had a dream and no one can interpret it. But I have heard of you when you heard about the dream of other people and can interpret it. You see, look what Joseph said to Pharaoh. I cannot do it. Joseph replied to Pharaoh, but God will give an answer to Pharaoh's desire. What I am saying here is this. Do not be so quick to open your mouth again. Do not be so quick to take credit for something. Because when you give credit to God and on what He is doing in your life, He will exalt you even further up. He will bless you even more than what you ever have. And present yourself well. Do not go talking bad about other people. Always give a positive energy to whoever is around you. If people are gossiping around you, behind you, you know what? Either you just walk away or just say, hey, let's change the topic. You can be the agent of change even in your workplace, even in your school. And it's up to you to use that opportunity. And number 8, favor will find you everywhere. When the favor of God is in your life, you don't have to hide. You cannot hide. People will find you. So Pharaoh sent for Joseph, and he was quickly brought from the dungeon. Joseph shaved and changed his clothes. See, you cannot come in front of someone asking for favor, wants to get the favor, and dress up sloppily. You have to present yourself on who you are and who is inside of you. Then Pharaoh said to Joseph, since God has made you all this known to you, there is no one so discerning and wise as you. You shall be in charge of my palace, and all my people are to submit to your orders. Only with respect to the throne, will I be greater than you. Joseph become second in command in entire Egypt because the favor of God was with him. And number 9, favor will prosper you. How? How you will say, Vicky, how can favor of God will prosper me? And Leviticus 26:9, I will look on you with favor and make you fruitful and increase your numbers, and I will make my covenant with you. When God's covenant is with you, you don't need anything else. All you need to do is seek the Lord daily. You say, Lord, what do you want me to do today? Who do you want me to meet today? I will do whatever you ask me to do. And when the favor of God is in you, truly, you will have that magnetic attraction. People will be drawn into you, not knowing why. People will just be giving you something without knowing what it is and what is drawing them, what is the driving force why they're doing it for you. Again, that is the favor of God in your life. And if you haven't tried it yet, try to ask the Lord, Lord, what is it that I need to do to receive favor from you? I think our broadcast will end today, and I will see you again tomorrow for our next topic. Next time, we will dig in deeper to each person that we mentioned on this broadcast. Moses, Joseph, Esther, King Saul, David. There's so many people in the Bible that God's put his favor upon them. And they become where and when and what he wanted them to be. And please follow us on the Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn. Click the button, subscribe, so that we can talk to you again next time. Have a good day, everyone.